welcome to Let's Play Dune 2000. This is an update slash remake of the classic RTS Dune 2. And I'm pretty sure it was released in 1998. So it's not the most up-to-date game, but it's a fantastic RTS and a vast improvement over Dune 2. So let's jump right into it. You can pick one of 3 houses, but obviously you have to go with the Atreides because, I mean, come on.
Atreides claimed strategic
Now we have a map of
regions.
Arrakis,
Ordos
the desert
moved
planet in
in
the
from east.
book and
Harkonnen invade
in
from
the
the
terrible
north.
film. We have to choose what our next mission is going to be. These are both basically the same, so it doesn't particularly matter in the beginning. And our goal is to harvest 2,500 Solari's worth of spice.
Ready, Commander.
Okay, so Dune 2000 is
Construction complete.
a pretty awesome RTS.
Commander.
Construction complete. Building.
What sets it apart from a lot of RTS games is, for one thing, you need to construct
Ready, Commander.
all of the buildings on
Orders, sir.
rock. You can't construct it on sand. And when you do construct buildings on rock, it has to be on concrete, or else the buildings will take damage from weather.
Building.
So
Orders, sir.
that's kind of an interesting thing.
Construction complete.
That's actually a cool setup there. Alright, so
Building.
in order to place my refinery, which lets me start gathering spice, I've got to place all my concrete.
Building.
Concrete's very cheap, but it does, I guess it prevents rushes if you're doing multiplayer. I'm not really sure what the design goal of the concrete is, but I like that it does figure into
complete.
the style of the book.
Building.
It takes the environment into account, and I enjoy that. Now, let's talk about the improvements over Dune 2. For one thing, you can select multiple units at once. You can even hotkey the units, which is a huge, huge improvement over selecting
Reporting.
one unit at a time,
Commander.
which was all you could do in Dune 2. Yeah, the graphics are certainly improved. The sprites are very nice looking. I think this is a fantastic look for the game. And to be honest, I wish more games had this sort of look, the sprite look, you know. This wind trap right here gives my buildings power. Without the power, your buildings don't work as well.
Construction.
And once you construct an outpost,
New construction options.
having enough power gives you access to the mini-map. You can see I don't actually have a mini-map right now. Oh, I got reinforcements.
Yes, sir.
You need to build a building for there to be a mini-map, and there actually is no fog of war either. Once you reveal
Standing by.
an
Orders confirmed.
area in the fog of war,
Our base is
it
under
actually
attack.
stays revealed. If an enemy is down here, I will definitely see it. So that's a pretty cool
Building.
feature
base is
of
under
Dune
attack.
2 and Dune 2000. I
Commander.
gotta kill this guy.
Let's go. Standing by. Yes, Commander.
Construction
I'm
complete.
getting attacked.
Our base is under attack.
For the Duke.
This first mission is obviously not
Orders, sir.
too challenging.
Atreides out.
So let's see what to talk about next. Yes, thank you. So I'm gathering spice right now. I have to get up to 2,500 and then the mission is complete.
Standing by. Orders
I cannot actually build any military units in this first mission. It very gradually gives you new technologies. But, you know, later on in the game, it does get very fast-paced, much more so than Dune 2.
Let's go.
Okay, now, you can see this little blur in the sand here when the little lightning strikes. That's a sandworm. I have to keep my spice harvester away from the
Let's
sandworm,
go.
or it gets eaten. Big surprise. These worms can get a bit annoying, to be honest,
Orders, sir.
and hopefully it won't disrupt my spice mining too heavily. But you know what? If this harvester gets killed, they'll just send me another one.
Standing by.
No big deal.
Reporting.
And I think it's going to get eaten, so check this out. This is going to be cool. Maybe?
Worm
Munch! So that's what happens when your spice harvester gets eaten. And they'll send me another one in just a minute. Pretty annoying, though.
Orders, sir.
reinforcements have arrived.
Yep, here we go. I didn't lose too much spice in that attack. I'm gonna go ahead and hotkey that guy, actually.
Commander.
So one annoyance that I do have with this game's controls, even though they are so much better than Dune 2, is
Yes, Commander.
it's the same button for
Yes, sir.
selecting everything and for moving things. It's all left click.
Orders, sir.
Right click just deselects things. So if I want to order them to move, I have to left click. If I want to select a guy, I have to left click.
Yes, sir.
And there's no attack move
Yes,
either,
sir.
as far as I can tell. So I can't tell them to move to an area and attack everything on the way. They either moving or they're attacking a specific target. So that can get a little annoying. But typically I just have to, you know, position them in an area and then wait for the enemy to come to me. Or just target fire one enemy and then they'll all sort of travel over there.
Worm sign.
Worm sign
Standing
again.
by.
Alright.
Yes, Commander.
Just have to micro my harvester a little bit, so that makes the mission a little trickier. So in this period of small downtime before the mission ends, which will be a little shortly,
Commander.
let me go ahead and complain about this and every other Dune game that exists.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Commander.
and the complaint is that there are these vehicles, and it's not just these, there are tanks and there are little mechs and stuff too.
Reporting.
And,
Let's go.
ah, darn it.
Attack.
And to be honest, that just wasn't the case in Dune. There aren't. It's all infantry. The tanks didn't really exist. So that's just kind of a gripe that I have. And of course, all the infantry does have, you know, little projectile guns, and that's actually okay because on Arrakis shields were not actually viable, so projectile weapons were the only option. But, you know, having, like, tanks and stuff actually is not okay because those do not work on the sands of Arrakis. Get out of here.
Yes, Commander.
Worm
Oh,
attack.
man. This worm is brutal, dude.
Ready, Commander.
I'm gonna go
Orders, sir.
traveling, I guess.
For the Duke. Trainees out.
Maybe I can lure the worm away from me.
Trainees out. Yes, sir.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Trainees out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright, the worm seems to be gone at the moment.
Trainees out. For the Duke. For the Duke. Trainees out. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, something that, like, crashed over here, I guess. I don't know
Yes, sir.
what that is.
Yes, sir. Trainees out.
An interesting thing to note, I forget if I mentioned this, but Fog of War. They're actually, like, it's permanent Fog of War, and when it's gone, it's permanently revealed. And this is something that Dune 2 also did, and it's kind of an interesting dynamic. I would probably disable it for multiplayer games, but, you know, for single player it's actually fine, I think.
Ready, Commander. Yes, sir.
It's not really something you notice, especially without a mini-map. It's kind of important to have revealed terrain. And I'm
Mission complete.
finishing the mission, okay. So, that is Mission 1 of Dune 2000, and stay tuned for Mission 2, which should be up very shortly.
Atreides captured more territory and drove the Ordos out. Ordos head for the Harkonnen. Harkonnen expanded their borders.